Hey there and happy Wednesday. I'm here bringing you card number 2 for Dawn Earlbeck's virtual stamp party. And I'm excited about the card I'm making because many of you have ordered the Penguin bundle, Penguin Place bundle, excuse me. And getting that helps get you towards the reward of the free cute paper. So I have a friend. I hope we all have friends. Hey there, Lisa. And it's got a blue background, Lisa. You'll love the card because anytime we use blue, Lisa and I love it. So with that, a lot of you have already purchased the Penguin Place bundle. Some of you have gotten the paper for free too. And the nice thing about paper is if you purchase more frequently during celebration, I know I do, like I kind of have this wish list set up, and then when celebration happens, I order more because it's always a good deal to get free things during celebration. And so with that, a lot of times you earn more. And so getting extra paper, sometimes it's like, oh, maybe I already have that stamp set, I have this, or I have that. So getting extra paper is always kind of nice. So I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to do something with the Penguin Place since many of you have gotten it, and then to show off that paper because celebration ends this month. And so it's always good to show you the ideas while you can still get your hands on the product here. So let me just make sure that oops, nope. I just want to make sure that my iPad's caught up before I start Dawn's card here. And I'll put my iPad down. It looks like we're set to go. Hey there, Lois. Good to have you on and welcome back home. Hi, Marilyn and Becky too. So and Diane, thanks for joining in. Let me get my camera moved around here so that you can see my desk area. It looks like a mess, right? That angle is not attractive at all. But here is my card. So the Penguin Place could be for Christmas, winter, anything. And penguins are so cute and they're always in and stylish. So that's kind of fun too. So I made this be a birthday card. I have a friend, that's what I started to tell you guys. I have a friend, Mary, from Ohio, and she's a fellow Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And so I saw her card, this version of her card, and I wanted to try and copy it as closely as possible because I thought it was so cute. And my hostess, Dawn here, she has younger kids. They're growing, though. It's kind of one of those things when you don't see people because of COVID, they grow up really fast. But her kids stamp with her, and I thought this would be something fun that that her kids might enjoy too. So the nice thing about this, I kind of did a pink spin on it, but a lot of these are blue and green colors, which you could somehow make into a guy card too if you wanted to. Kind of did like the soft succulent. I should have did soft seafoam because that's the actual color. I played around with the balloon, but then when I saw Mary's card and it was just done in the fresh freesia, I thought, let's not reinvent the wheel too much because it was cute the way it was. Thanks, Cheryl. So yeah, I always love to give credit where credit is due, and that's from my friend Mary. Mary Nabe. Okay, so the penguin is from the mini catalog here. If you flip to page 33, you'll see all of these stamps, lots of sentiments, lots of images. The stamp set alone is just $17 for all of that. If you want to bundle it and get the stamp set and the punch together, the punch is $18, but if you bundle it together, $31.50. So you'll still have to search and go, do I want ink pads? Do I want ribbon? Do I want embellishments to get to $50 to get my paper for free? Which then brings me to the free paper. So that is found in the celebration brochure, and that's on pages like 4 and 5. You kind of see that layout here. So with a $50 purchase, you get all this fun paper, the 12-pack of 12 by 12 sheets for free. And sometimes we have these leftover strips and we go, what are we going to do? I was just talking with my stamping friend Pam, and she had made great use of a strip of paper, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have strips of paper left over after doing my card, and this alone is really cute there. So I have to keep those ideas in mind. I could have a whole Pinterest page to use up those ideas because I always or often cut my paper, my 12 by 12 in 5 1/4 by 4 sheets. And so that kind of leaves that size strip left over. So I'm not going to go through this page by page because I already have in a previous video, but you'll kind of get the drift of, remember when I punched out these penguins here and then I cut out these polar bears by hand. Today I'm using this striped paper, and it was really hard because look at how cute those guys are to cut out. So kind of just a different version of the penguin than this, and just a slight bit larger too. But these are just so cute and so vibrant. And then smaller versions kind of over here too of that same thing in that free paper pack. So let me get started on your card here. Hello there, Chris. Hi, Wendy. Thanks for joining in. All right, so let me start by doing stamping. I always have to think, like, where did I start? Was that a good idea the first time? Because sometimes that can change it too. I'm going to start by opening up my Memento Black ink pad, and I'm just going to take my penguin, and on purpose, I'm stamping him upside down because when I put my penguin in my punch, it works best to have him upside down because that's the angle that the penguin is there too. So I'm just going to feed that right in, stamp first always, and punch. Not always. There's, you know, once in a while I'll say, hey, this is where it was a good idea not to. But usually, most often, stamp first, then punch, because it makes doing that a lot easier. And look how perfect that comes out. Love it. Okay, and then since this is in my hand, I'm going to take a piece of Mango Melody cardstock, just a little scrap piece here, and then that I'm just going to feed in. At first I was like, where's the second foot? It's like, Belle, you punch the little foot twice. You can do it. You don't have to have 2 feet on your punch. So when you see this, there's the one, but punch it twice. It's not that hard of a concept, but to me, Stampin' Up! Makes things so easy. I thought that they would probably do that somehow, but they have to be separate anyway. You wouldn't want them connected, so so that works out perfect that way too. I'm going to go ahead and finish my penguin, and in doing that, let me get rid of my lid here. I'm going to reach for the Mango Melody ink pad, and that's the same color as the cardstock that I cut those cute little feet out with. So lots of little tiny stamps in here. So there's the beak that I'm just going to ink up here and center, and with this being a photopolymer stamp, you can always tell when I'm going to use photopolymer because I have my Stampin' Pierce mat for the best results. And with this being photopolymer, it's so easy to line up that cute beak just perfectly like so. So we're gonna set this aside for now. And I'm not doing any die cutting, so I feel like I have so much space here on my desk. So I can just keep stamping. Next, I'm going to open up my fresh Freesia ink pad, and that is the color that coordinates with this striped paper here. So all of my striped paper lovers were loving this. Let's unite on that idea because I love striped paper. And this little piece of basic white is 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And I'm going to take next the balloon image from the stamp set. And because this is a more solid image, what I did is I took and put it on scratch paper and just pretended like I was erasing something. And then that kind of gets rid of that sheen or that whatever is on the surface of the photopolymer stamp sets, and will just give you a better ink to stamp experience without any kind of crusties, and I'll kind of show you that in a little bit what I mean. So we have a nice solid image there. And yeah, just the balloon. Isn't that funny, Pam, how the balloon can be so cute with the little white marks on there to make it look like it's got some dimension to it. And then I'll go ahead next with the happy birthday and go back to my black ink pad there and ink that up for my happy birthday in black ink. And then black just really pops on top of that fresh Freesia color too. And next I'm going to take the balloon string. So the balloon string is just really long and narrow. But when I went to ink it up with my black ink, I'm like, this is going to go all the way off my piece of cardstock, and I'm kind of covering it up with my penguin eventually, but I still thought it's going to show. So I thought it's time to get out my basic black marker. So with the brush tip here, and I don't show you working with my markers too much, so I thought this was a good thing to be able to show you guys. So I just brush the black marker right on here, and I'm doing it about 2/3 of the way down because that's going to give me enough coverage for what I want. And then with this being photopolymer, then it's pretty easy. Oh, I say that, but I don't have my glasses on. Okay, now I've got my glasses, and now it's easy. Okay, so then it makes it easier to line that string up with that, with it being that fine and tiny there, it makes it a lot easier. So with that, that's all the stamping that I'm going to do on my 2.5 by 3.5 inch piece here. So then I'm ready to tack that down or get my adhesive on there and put it on my next layer here. So that is Misty Moonlight, and I cut this then 2.75 by 3.75. Hi there, Amy, good to see you on here. So that I'm just going to mat onto the Misty Moonlight there. And I love the Fresh Freesia and Misty Moonlight together. I'll have to remember that color combination. And then I can kind of build my penguin next. So before I put my penguin on here, I'm going to put just a couple dimensionals there for my penguin. And then it's going to be like the penguin's kind of holding, kind of just want it on the tip, holding on to that balloon. How cute is that? And then those tiny little feet that I punched out right away, those are going to get my mini dimensionals, where it's like, man, I've been using these a lot lately. Not that I didn't before, but I feel like they're really, really getting used up. And I kind of say that jokingly, like really getting used up, because there's a lot on each sheet. And then when you get a few sheets in a package, one package will last you a long time. So it's also one of those things too, if you have an order and it's getting close to, especially during celebration, it's getting close to that next level or whatever, I always say dimensionals at $4 a piece are a nice quick add-on, and it's something that you'll always use. So that's my pitch for dimensionals. Okay, so then these little feet, I just line up next to each other. How cute is that? They almost look like those little things that you could go like that with little springs, and they should go boing. So that is Mango Melody to coordinate with the ink and now the cardstock for the feet. And then I think I'm going to do some more assembly here with my actual card. So let's see. I'm going to take my striped paper here. I'm going to move my ink pad out of the way so I don't accidentally get cardstock in my ink pad. See, this is where it's tough, guys. So I'm putting my tape back here, but then like how fun would that be to cut out, or this guy, or even the polar bear that I already cut most of it off. It would be just fun to make a card with that, but I'll give up because what's done is done. I decided to do stripes, and I like how my card turned out, so I can't complain too much. Now Cheryl's watching. Cheryl, I'm gonna take my ribbon, and I just joke with Cheryl because I do this quite often where I'll be like, hey, I want to you know, assemble my card, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I should have put ribbon on first. And another prime example, and I have it here just off to the side, as I started to make my card, and so this will make people like Cheryl feel better. I started to make my card this way, but then I realized I can't put ribbon around it without making the whole card tied shut, or I could cut a slit here and put the ribbon through, but that will make you guys feel better to think like, okay, I didn't think my card all the way through before I put the cute paper on, and then it's too late to do it that way. So today my card is opening this way so that I can get the ribbon around it like I'm doing right now. And Cheryl's laughing. So yeah, so I don't make that up when I say, Cheryl, sometimes I need the help with the ribbon too. Like I'm not making that up. You saw the proof right there. So then I'm just going to snip off a little bit of these edges and kind of give them a little bit of a angle too, so that they have the same angle. Maybe the third time's the charm. There we go. Okay, now we got the same angle. All right, and then that's good to go. And like I said, now the card opens like that, and the ribbon can go around that nicely. And this ribbon is the Fresh Freesia Open Weave ribbon. And so, like I said, one of the in colors, all the 5 colors come in this open weave, which is really pretty, really thin. So it's really easy to layer and not have it be too bulky. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I flipped this over because I'm ready for dimensionals. Like, where'd my dimensionals go? There we go. So I'm going to put dimensionals here in all 4 corners, and I'll kind of do one here and one here. Not that the ribbon is all that thick. Like I just said, it's a very thin ribbon, but then it will still allow for that ribbon to kind of pass through right here, and it kind of creates a channel so we don't have any bulk that makes your this layer kind of want to go up and down like so. So then we're just going to squeeze that right underneath that little bow there. And then with it being striped paper, if you have the striped paper on straight, then you can just line up your edges that way so that your next layer ends up being nice and straight too. So we've got that so far. So now the penguin looks like it's wishing someone a happy birthday, and we need to add the effects of that too. So with that, Stampin' Up! Gave us this cute little present image, and you can see it's got like a little bow on it already etched within that. So when I ink that up with the Fresh Freesia here, then you can see that there. And sometimes you'll get, see, I kind of did this on purpose. You'll see that it's not the greatest image. So sometimes after you've cleaned this off, I'm just going to kind of smear it like so. This is where you want to do that little eraser thing as well. And sometimes even before inking it up, I do that. And I want to show you the difference between getting a lot of ink like so, and then look at how much clearer these images are here compared to that, because I did the nice little wipe off there before I did it. So those colors here that I used are the same colors as in my striped paper. I just did it so I won't have to take your time to stamp, clean, stamp, clean, stamp, clean. So that was Fresh Freesia, the first present. Next color is the Soft Seafoam, and then the other color is Misty Moonlight. Those are the 3 colors of my gifts here. And then I'm just going to show you how easy it is to just cut those, because they're pretty much kind of that square rectangle look. It's pretty easy to cut those out like so. And here's a spot where if you have one of those bins of little tiny white scraps, you could dig into that and use those up. I love doing that. All right. And these are just big enough to put dimensionals on. I was wondering if I'd have to reach back into my mini dimensionals for this, but the regular dimensionals work out great. So I'm just going to take and peel off the papers there. And then, whoops, didn't want it to stick to my thumb. And then when it does, how do you get it off? Okay, and then one more. Oh my goodness, dimensionals sticking everywhere. Okay, so we've got the last one there. And then it's just a matter of taking the papers off and sticking them on. So I'll start with the pink over here. And I'll bring it closer to the camera so you can see it here. And this is going to look like the penguin's kind of holding that one. And then next I'm going to take the Misty Moonlight there. So if you stamp it and the string goes down farther, or like I said, off your paper, then this will be one way that you can cover it up. But if it goes totally off, you'd have to move your present down a little bit. Otherwise your string will still show too. Yeah, Wendy, this is really cute paper. All of them, all the images are really cute. And now this present, I'm just going to kind of tuck right underneath the Misty Moonlight, the soft Seafoam. So we're almost done, but then you know that I always like to add some kind of embellishment and such, and the inside of the card. So I've already pulled out my basic black marker to use to only color in part of the string for the balloon. I'm going to use that same technique to follow through with the inside of the card. So the sentiment here, let me show you the stamp set so that you can see a better image than the actual stamp. So I want to use Be Cool, Be Chill, Be Merry, the stamp set, but I'm making a birthday card, right? So the Be Merry, just like people would be like, oh, she like tried to make it not be Christmas but birthday and it didn't work. But with the marker, I'm just going to marker in the Be Cool, Be Chill, and there's a dot in between, and I don't want the dot to show up in between the Be Chill and Be Merry. So I'm going to have to be sure that when I'm markering in, because it's a pretty fine line stamp, I want to make sure that I don't hit that dot, but I want to make sure that I get everything else on there. So then once again with my brush tip, I just color in only what's needed there. So that works out so well for designs when you want to just do that. Sometimes I've even taken my scissor and cut off or cut apart, not cut off because I know I'll use it later, but I've just cut that. But with that dot in there, I'm like, there's no way I can cut on one side or the other with it being a pretty tight fit too. So I thought, you know what, I've already got my marker out for that. So now we have Be Cool, Be Chill. And I think that Dawn's kids would like that sentiment too. And so I try and keep my hostesses in mind. It helps when I know them a little better sometimes too. I thought, oh, how fun. So that's going to be the inside of the card here, and even for adults, not just kids. That's kind of a fun little inside sentiment to go with the birthday, the happy birthday. And then it just looks like it needs a little bit of embellishment, and I thought about pulling in some of the in-color gems, but then I thought, oh, I wanted something to look a little bit icier, and I haven't used these in a while. These are the blue adhesive back gems, and these were meant to be balmy blue and oh, that retired color of like the turquoisey blue. Why can't I think of it? I used it all the time. Obviously, I used it all the time. So it retired, but they still kept these in the bonus point for whoever can type that color in. It just retired like a few months ago, but they let us keep this. And so these I always kind of considered chameleon gems anyway, because they coordinated with navy, they coordinated with all the colors. Actually, I have it on my little spinner thing here. Pretty Peacock. That's this color that I was thinking of. Okay, so these really do go well. So neither of these colors are identical to this, but it takes on kind of that nice chill look of blue here. Whoops. Sometimes I don't get such a great, such a great response unless I use my take your pick tool. Here we go. Now I know I've got all of it on there and it's going to stick well. So I'm just going to put 3 of those little dots kind of around that balloon to make it look more special that way too. And like I said, the blue kind of picks up the blue in there, but sometimes when it hits the light, it almost has like a little bit of a green reflection, which kind of coordinates with the green in the paper too. And I feel like it just is what the card needed to tie the blues and the pinks and everything together that way. So, hey there, Lisa. So there we have Happy Birthday, Be Cool, Be Chill. So that is Dawn Earlbeck's card number 2 for her virtual party. Already. Just started yesterday. Okay, so that's card number 2. Tomorrow I will come to you with card number 3 tomorrow afternoon for Dawn's party, and that will wrap up her virtual party. But I know, thanks Bethy. So I know she will be keeping her party open until the end of this month because she wants to take some time to decide what she wants and wants to play that out until closer to the end of celebration. So if any of you guys are kind of in that that same boat. Keep her host code in mind. I'm going to take a still shot of this picture, and just know that if you miss her host code in any of the videos, any of my hostesses, I always include the host code with the still shot of the picture, the still shot of the card that I made too. So you have that as a reference, as well as the top of my page here. Anybody that's a current host will have their name and their host code. So if anybody decides like tomorrow, hey, I want to be a hostess, then I put that on the top post pinned of this page too, so that current information is on there too. Thanks, Linda. So I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon with card number 3 for Dawn Earlbeck's virtual party, and then right after that I'm going to jump into Pam Cranky's virtual stamp party too. So, and then after that we have September virtual stamp camp cards to look forward to. So like I said, busy month, but it'll be fun and full of ideas for you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.